Please listen to the rules and procedures that will follow for tonight's meeting.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Town of Babylon Zoning Board of Appeals. The following is the procedure that will be followed tonight. The matters will be called in the order they appear on the calendar, with adjourned matters being called at the end of the regularly scheduled matters. Matters cannot be heard prior to their published scheduled time. When your matter is called, please submit the affidavit of posting to the secretary and proceed to the podium and give your name and address. The chairperson will then swear you in and read into the record information we have from your application, comments from various town departments, and any correspondence received on your application. The chairperson will then ask you to make whatever presentation you wish to make to the board. After you have made your presentation, the board will ask whatever questions the board deems appropriate, and then we will ask for comments from the public. If you wish to speak for or against an application, we ask that you wait until you're acknowledged. Come forward, give us your name and address, tell us where your property is in relation to the property that's in question tonight, and then please direct your comments to the board, not the applicant or the applicant's representative. We have to keep a record, and we cannot do that if there are people talking over each other or cross conversations. If someone has spoken for or against an application, and they have said exactly the same thing that you wish to say, it will have the same force and effect in the record if you give your name and address, are sworn in, and say that you join in those comments. If you have anything additional to say, please don't hesitate to do so, but keep in mind that you will be given only one opportunity to speak. After the public has spoken, the board may ask the applicant to come back to answer any questions that may have come up as a result of the public comments, or for the applicant to summarize. When the applicant comes back to answer any additional questions, if that happens, that does not start a second round of public comments. Once the matter has been heard, various things may occur. The board may decide the application immediately. It may reserve decision. If the board reserves decision, that does not mean the matter is approved or denied. It just means that the board needs more time to decide, may want to go out and look at the site again, or might want to review the documents and testimony further before making a decision. In either event, the applicant will receive the board's decision in writing shortly after the board makes its decision. If the application is approved, that does not mean that you can then go ahead and start construction or whatever it is that you requested from the board. You will have to wait for the building permit to be obtained from the building department before your go-ahead. On some occasions, the matter may be continued for another night. If it is continued, in most cases it will be for the submission of documents, a new survey, new plans, or something of that nature. If that's the case, no one needs to come back on the new date. The documents will be submitted and no further testimony will be taken. On rare occasions, a matter may be continued for future testimony. If that's the case, then people would have to come back to testify. If matters are adjourned at an open meeting on the scheduled date of hearing, no further notice need be given unless specifically required by the board on the date the adjournment is granted. 3 rules that may affect your ability to proceed tonight. 1. If the sign was not posted for 10 days, we cannot hold the hearing tonight. 2. If you commence this proceeding while you own the property, but no longer own the property, and you are here now to continue with the application, you will need either the written consent of the new owner or the new owner to be present for the hearing. This situation could come about if you sold your house or building, money was held in escrow at closing for a certificate of occupancy or permit, and you're here tonight to clear that up. Lastly, if your application is a commercial application and it's other than a renewal, and there is more than one tenant in the building, then you need your landlord to be here. Is there any applicant that has any difficulty with those situations and would need an adjournment tonight?
Is there anyone that would need an adjournment? Please rise and join the board in the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, before we begin tonight, there are two applications on our agenda that are being adjourned. It's application 22-245 of Bowler Oil Corporation, property located on Bay Shore Road and Comac Road in North Babylon. And a second application, application 22-246, also Bowler Oil Corp., and also at that same location. Is there anybody here on those applications tonight? Those applications are both being adjourned to March the 2nd, 2023. First application tonight is application 22-243 of Petro Kapczynski, property located in West Babylon. Name and address for the record, please.
Petro is not here, so I'm here for him. I think we submitted a letter.
You submitted a letter that you were going to...
Notarize that I'm representing him tonight. That's my dad.
It's your dad?
Yeah, his mother passed away, so he could not be here.
Okay. Sorry. All right, I need your name and address for the record.
My name, Vadim Kapczynski, 2 Jessica Court, West Babylon, New York.
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated January 26, 2023, environmental control memo dated February 1st, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Ward Brooks dated May 16, 2021, tax map acting as an area map, and...
Chairman, we have 5 photographs.
Okay. What would you like to tell us about the application?
Basically, we're trying to get a CO for an extension over the garage, but the pavers that we built, you can see the deck on the bottom. We removed the deck, and instead of the deck, we put pavers patio. But we didn't know that it would exceed the building limit on the property, so they wouldn't give us the CO until we got approved for that.
Okay, thank you. Turn the hearing over to Ms. McCullough.
Okay, so you guys constructed the addition of the garage already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When was that done?
Like 2 months ago, or maybe a month ago.
Oh, it's recent.
But we have everything, it's already done. We just need a CO now. All the permits, everything's done. Inspections, everything was done.
So, okay, so when they came to inspect these pavers, that's when they saw the addition of the garage?
No, when we submitted the updated survey,
Okay.
we showed the patio, and then when they calculated the lot square footage, it went over.
That's really good.
Thank you.
I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Good.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application number 22-243.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't, yeah, not,
my
not
first
unless you
one,
got
so I
nothing to do. You too. Okay. What's the last name? Next application is application 22-241 of Marina Arabello, property located in West Babylon.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name is Angel Aponte, A-P-O-N-T-E. I reside at 1330 Washington Avenue in Bayshore as the agent for Marina Aravala, who's on my right.
Just name, your name and address for the record.
331 Marina Arevalo, 331 15th Avenue, West Babylon.
Okay, and do you both affirm to tell the truth? Yes. Okay. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated January 26, 2023. Environmental control memo dated February 1st, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by John Abruzzo dated June 8, 2022. Tax map acting as an area map.
And we have 19 photographs, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, what would you like to tell us about the application?
So what we have here is existing conditions, improvements that were done on the property years prior, unfortunately without the benefit of a permit. The homeowner found themselves in a situation where they needed a gas permit, a gas turned on the house. They couldn't do that because of these things that came up. So they were trying to get the permit for the gas, and ultimately that snowballed into legalizing everything on the property. So that's what we're trying to do.
Okay, turn the hearing over to Ms. McCullough.
Very busy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the main thing is, planning doesn't really support the width of the driveway.
Mhm.
Is there anything that we can do about that?
So I saw, you're from planning, I'm sorry. Okay, so I saw the recommendations from planning. The code is 40% and we're at 46%. I was hoping that maybe we can come in somewhere in the middle just to kind of alleviate the financial burden on her, cutting away 6% of that driveway, which is quite a bit.
Okay, so you're willing to take something, like 3%, that's what you're saying?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. There we go. Okay. All right, so what we need, that recalculated if we get the 3%?
Yes.
Okay. And then, excuse me. The fire pit, the bench is pretty close to the neighbors. When was that built?
That was recent.
That was recent?
That was recent within the COVID period, I would say
Okay.
within the last 2-3 years.
All right. We're not too happy with that. Where does the smoke go from the fire pit? Is it?
It's a tiny little,
It's, okay.
yeah, it's not even 2 feet off the ground.
I don't really see it in the picture.
How close are those benches to the, is there a fence in the backyard?
There's a fence,
And how close are is it a vinyl fence?
a vinyl fence, yeah.
How close are the benches to,
I
how close are
think-
the benches to the
I
fence?
think on one side, and forgive me, I don't remember which one, but one side is 1.9 and the other side is 1.5.
The back is
Is,
1.9.
the code is 2 feet? Is-
2, mm-hmm,
Yeah, so the 1.9 is de minimis, but the 1.5 is 6
Yeah.
inches.
yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's real,
So what these need to be, too, I guess.
Is it a portable fire pit?
No, it's masonry.
It's a masonry one?
Yeah. The benches, masonry, everything, all of that is all one.
The benches are masonry as well?
Mhm.
Is that propane tank? Oh, I see.
The fire pit?
No, there is a propane tank, but it has nothing to do with the pit, right? That's.
No.
What is that, for cooking and?
Yeah.
okay. So aside from the bricks being removed, some of the bricks being removed, do you agree if we approve this application that the front portico and the rear portico not be covered?
Absolutely.
I have one more request, Mr. Chairman. And if the bricks, the benches should ever come down, do you agree that you'd put them in a conforming location?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. So you're going to have, so resubmit plans showing what you're going to do so that we can recalculate the lot coverage in the front.
Is it okay if I do that in a survey? Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve the decision. We'll keep the record open for a new survey, and you'll get the decision in the mail.
Great, thank you very
All
much.
right, Thanks.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
Next application is application 22-242 of Mark Chimente, property located in Deer Park.
Good evening, members of the board, and thank you for hearing my application.
Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Mark Chimenti, 241 West 18th Street, Deer Park, New York.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
You good?
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated January 26, 2023, environmental control memo dated February 1st, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Frank Farantello, dated 9/27, September 27th, 2022. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, we have 4 photographs and a site plan by Martin A. Vicente, dated November 7th, 2022.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Basically, I'm looking to install a semi-in-ground pool. And it came to my attention that there were certain issues regarding variances and C of Os. So when I purchased this property in 2010, the previous owner was in the masonry business, and so he did a lot of work with pavers all around the property. And in regard to the pool, it put me over by a few square feet. And then the shed that's existing was already there, and it was 1 foot, pretty much away from the fence. What I installed in the property was the gazebo, which at the time when that was installed, I had no idea that it would probably need a CO for that as well. So I had some questions in the comments that I received today. In reference to the pool platform or decking, there will be no pool platform or decking around the pool. The existing pavers will suffice as the area around the pool for people to recreate. In reference to the oversized shed, there is no additional space to relocate the existing shed. The additional space that is available is needed for my grandchildren to play on the grass. The shed was installed by the previous owner, and I was not asked to relocate or remove the shed in closing. There was never a complaint from my neighbors. I kindly ask the board to grant relief for the shed, as it will be needed to store pool supplies and games for the children.
Okay, thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Caraccio.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to make a motion to amend variance number 3 from diminished distance to south side yard from 2.2 feet to 1 foot. We're going to change it to amend it to 6 feet to 1 foot.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay. There's no way of moving that shed and putting it in a different location.
There's a concrete platform, and it's a fixative platform, and it would be a difficult thing to do.
Okay.
And there's no place else for me to put it, and like I said, I do need it for the pool supplies and the games for the kids and stuff, so.
You do understand if you put additional pavers or patio pavers around the area, you're going to need to, it's going to require an additional permit and additional variance.
There will be no additional pavers, no additional decking, no additional pavers.
Okay, if we approve this, you agree to the condition that if the shed is ever taken down, it will be relocated in a conforming location?
I do.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board?
I got one. What's on the other side of the shed? What's your neighbor, in your neighbor's backyard? Is there anything?
No,
obstructing?
it's just
got
open,
nothing there?
open space.
And you said your neighbor doesn't mind?
No, not at all. No,
Thank you.
they're very gracious.
Okay. I don't see anything.
Here it's right on the line. Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 22-242 with the condition on the face of the CO that if the shed is ever rebuilt or moved, it will be rebuilt in a conforming location.
Second.
All in favor? Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Next application is application 22-129 of Oscar Medarano, property located in Amityville. Name and address for the record.
My name is Oscar Medrano, address 79 Del Boulevard, Amityville, 11701, says code.
I'm Miguel Ramirez. I'm the agent. Any question regarding to the layout, architectural question?
I just need an address. And I need an address from you.
Yes, the address is 33 Lamont Place, West Babylon, New York, 11704.
And do you both affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated January 26, 2023. Environmental Control memo dated February 1st, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by Michael K. Wicks that I couldn't find the date on. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, we have 2 photographs on the site plan by Vladimir Constant, dated February 2022.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
We're talking about,
The background of that application is,
I'm
yes,
sorry.
I've described it right here. I just said we are looking for an extension, 500 square feet extension for a garage, and also we did what was required before. That's why we couldn't finish the former appearance for the zoning before, and then we done the existing garage conversion in order to go for the current addition. So everything is described right here. That says we are looking for a finally, the applicant, we are seeking for a permission to diminish distance to the rear lot line from 8 to 2 feet, and to diminish distance to the east side yard from 8 to 6 feet from an existing 120 square foot shed. Also, I'm sorry because I started from the end. Right here says the applicant, we are also reduce the side of the proposed two-story addition, 500 square foot. The addition will be for a garage on the first floor and a new family room, and then on the second floor. Additionally, we are seeking to legalize a second-story addition in the rear of the house. And then there is a 18 by 9 feet second story addition at the northwest corner of the dwelling. The addition expanded a bedroom and walk-in closet on the second floor. There is a wood deck below the addition. Also, the legalization of this addition was submitted, the application already, and then we are waiting for the approval, for the of further approval, I'm sorry. And then also we have requesting a diminish the rear yard, the rear yard setback from 40 to 33.9. We also going to diminish the front yard. I'll describe it right here. The front yard, we are asking a diminish from 30 that is allowed by the zoning to 25.5. And that's all the application for.
Okay, thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Perotti.
So you did, how you doing? You did answer a few of my questions. You said your original deck, that's converted, what is that converted to again?
The original deck, we never could do anything. That's when
Yeah,
we bought the house was already there.
Mhm.
It's on the second floor. It's this,
Yeah, what is the second floor? What is that being converted to?
It was no deck.
Oh, there's no deck there.
Was no deck.
Okay. All right.
Is this built already?
He bought it like that.
When we bought the house,
You bought the house like this?
yeah, we bought the house like that.
For the board's reference, there's a second-story deck that you see on the survey, that they're legally maintaining, and it's already been converted. They're also here to apply for proposed two-story addition to the house. So there's two existing. There's the existing condition on the second floor, which will be labeled as a second-story deck, and they're also proposing a side addition, a two-story side addition.
What,
Be over on the side.
and what is the side addition? What is that?
The size?
Yeah, what is the side addition? What is it? A closet or is it a
It's gonna be converted to a big living room.
oh, big living room, okay.
Big living room. No bathroom. Just big living room.
Okay.
Big
And-
family. That's it.
Your original garage, what is that converted to?
Playground.
Playground? Okay. Now are you not gonna have any accessory apartments or
No.
anything?
No, nothing like that.
All right. Also, you had, were required for the building permits. Did you file those?
I'm sorry.
You were supposed to, on your original approval, you were supposed to have, you were supposed to file for some building permits. Did you do those?
What did he say?
Los permisos y todo eso. The building permit.
You mean the permits, the application that
Yeah,
was
the
submitted?
application. Did you do that?
Yeah, we
Oh,
are
you did?
waiting
Okay.
because till
Good.
we don't have the approval here, we're not gonna continue
So you
with
did
that
apply then?
process.
All right.
Yes.
Correct.
So now, if we were to approve the application, if the shed were ever to be taken down, that it would be rebuilt in a conforming location, and also that there would be no enclosure of the area beneath the second-story addition. Do you agree to that?
My bad. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again?
Sure. If the shed were ever to taken down, that it to be rebuilt in a conforming location, and that there be no enclosure of the area beneath the second-story addition. Do you agree to that?
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Can we clarify for the board, you read that the front yard setback is 25. We have it listed as 27. It looks like on your plan, you have it from the 30, and then you have a 2-foot overhang, but then this 5 feet. So can you confirm the front yard setback? Is it 27 feet, or is it, you have it advertised as 27 feet?
Actually, it's 29. Let me see, that's what we have. We have a...
Yeah, no, I mean,
There's a lot of overflow there.
no, it's a dead end.
Yes, that's correct.
For the record,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, from the existing platform. That's the existing platform. What we are proposing is a portico, just 2 columns and then to cover up with a roof over. Correct. Yes, yes. You're welcome.
Quick question, according to this aerial view, those cars, do they belong to you, or there's a lot of overflow parking there? If you could see in the picture.
One of the reasons that I want to, yes, they're all cars.
And none of those belong to you, just
I
neighbors?
mean, yeah, they belong to me, the old cars. I got, like 76 Corvette, 1980 Camaro. So it's all cars that belong to me.
Just
then.
leave them in the street?
No, those, you see, no, not, I'm sorry, the ones on the driveway, yes. The ones that is like the neighbors.
The dead end and
At
the
the
park?
dead
At the dead end, yes. Because that neighbor is, he owns the piece of property. The across the street,
Across, oh, yes.
the neighbor across the street, so he owns that piece of property. So he parked 2 cars over there.
Not yours.
No, one is, yeah, like my cars I park on my side of my house.
But those 3 at the dead end aren't yours?
At the time, sometime it could be visitors, I don't know, but I have a car, yes, one on my, on my side, yes, one is mine. The other 2 cars usually is from the neighbors across the street.
Currently, how many cars do you have?
Personal myself, I have 4.
There's 4 cars that you park at this property?
The-
There's 4 cars that you park at this property?
Yes,
You have space for them off-road? Is that
that's
doubled?
why I park on the front and on the driveway.
Okay. How about the side of the house? Is that a trampoline or a pool? What is that?
It
Around-
was trampoline at one time, no more.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? The record, there are none. We're going to close their hearing. We're going to reserve decision. What are we waiting on here? Anything? Okay. All right, you'll get the decision in the mail. Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks. Better clarity on this one, honestly. Next application is application 22244 of Nexus Real Estate Group, Inc., property located in Deer Park. Name and address for the record.
Hi, good afternoon. My name's Amber Marshall, 435 Brook Avenue in Deer Park.
Okay, sir?
I'm Dan Albino, 64 Carver Boulevard in Bellport.
Okay. And do you both affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated January 26, 2023, Environmental Control memo dated February 1st, 2023. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Jerome DeMauro. I couldn't really find the date on here. Wait. July, I can't make it up. Undated. Tax map acting as an area map, and
You have 7 photographs, Mr. Chairman.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
Hello, we're proposing a non-illuminated post and panel directory for this building. Due to the way the property's laid out, it doesn't have another space to put the pylon. They've benefited from a BZA decision from 1983, and the pylon was installed where we're proposing. Our setbacks are slightly off by a couple inches from their original approval. So if you're looking at this image here, it's going to be on the far left near Olympic Diner, near their landscaping parking lot over there. Opposite from the parking lot for the building at 1550.
So this pylon signs will be closer to the diner on that
Yes,
end?
sir, yep. It's going to be right over there on that landscaped area next to Olympic Diner's bushes.
And there was wall signs on the building that's being
They,
removed?
the only wall signs that they have are 3 address signs. On each side, it says 1550. There's no signage on the building that advertises the tenants that are in there. Kumon Learning Center, they do have some window vinyl, but the rest of the tenants have no identification on that building.
Okay, and do you have tenants, proposed tenants that are going in there?
They're already there, sir. Right now, there's an architecture building, there's a family medical office, Kumon Learning Center, Babylon Psychology Services, and Larry Wenzel LMHC.
Okay, and is this going to be an illuminated sign?
No, it's not. It's going to be non-illuminated. The font's uniform. We made the sign as small as we could, as subtle as we could.
Nice job. Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Yeah. Give it 3.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve application 22-244 for a period of 3 years.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you all.
Okay. So as was stated in the beginning of the hearing, application 6, 22-245, and 7, 22-246 are being adjourned to March 2nd, 2023. So, application 22-218A and 218B, property located on Sheffield Avenue in West Babylon. Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Nicole Blanda. I'm an attorney at Bazell, Blanda, and Visconti with offices at 535 Broad Hollow Road in Melville.
Okay, for the record, we have a planning division memo on the A application dated January 26, 2023. We also have a DEC memo dated February 1st, 2023. If we were to approve this application, it needs a negative declaration. On the B application, we have the same memo, also dated January 26, 2023. I believe it's going to be the same environmental control memo that will need a neg deck. We have a survey by Lawrence Michael Haynes dated March 2nd, 2010 for, I think this is the A application. Yeah, and then there's another application, which is an overall, it gives you both. It's a story frame dwelling, okay. Also by Lawrence Michael Haynes and also dated March 2nd, 2010, tax map acting as an area map.
Mr. Chairman, we have 8 photographs.
There is a letter not in favor of this application by Nicholas and Dolores Palazzo, dated January 26, 2023. Okay. What would you like to tell us about the application?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to point out on the surveys, there is another date above the seal of the surveyor, map prepared May 3rd, 2022. I just want to make sure that you have that on the survey.
May 3rd, 2022, yes. we do.
Perfect, okay. This way we're all looking at the same.
I missed that.
That's okay. I'm here tonight on behalf of the applicant and property owners seeking variance relief in connection with a proposed 2-lot subdivision. The property is located on the north side of Sheffield Avenue, east of Belmont Avenue. It consists of 2 existing tax lots, 66 and 67. Each tax lot has its own street address currently. One is 205 Sheffield, one is 207 Sheffield. Tax Lot 66 is an 80 by 100-foot parcel, and Tax Lot 67 is a 40 by 100-foot parcel. So altogether, the site has 12,000 square feet. It's zoned Residence C. It's presently improved with an existing dwelling that's located wholly on Tax Lot 66. There's also a frame garage that is proposed to be removed, along with an older driveway that's proposed to be removed. The existing dwelling has undergone some renovation and has been updated, new siding on it, a lot more attractive than what was there previously. You'll see that on the photos that we submitted. The application is seeking to basically reconfigure the tax lot lines and create a two-lot subdivision. So proposed Lot 1 would be a 60 by 100-foot parcel having 6,000 square feet, which means that we're requesting to diminish the width at street from 75 feet required to 60 feet, and lot area from 7,500 square feet required to 6,000 square feet proposed. The applicant took great care to propose a house that meets all the setback requirements. In other words, choosing a home that would fit this size parcel. So we meet all the setbacks in the Residence C zone. We're not seeking any setback variances whatsoever. We meet or exceed all the setbacks. We meet the height requirement. We are proposing a 2-story dwelling with an internal garage, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths with a porch. It has its own driveway, so it has more than ample parking. I noticed that planning had asked about a test bore. I believe that at the time we filed with zoning, we didn't have that, but we do have that now. We hit wet brown sand at 13 feet. So if this application were to be approved, all that information would be included on surveys submitted to planning, and then obviously all the various town departments would comment on that and could discuss whether or not a basement is feasible. But I think at 13 feet, in my opinion, it would be feasible. We are not proposing a finished basement. This would just be a cellar for the purposes of storage and to have certain mechanicals down there, your hot water tank, things of that nature. The existing frame garage in the rear yard that you see would be removed. For proposed Lot 2, that would be the existing home remaining. Again, it's a 60 by 100-foot proposal, so 6,000 square feet. There are some existing conditions that would be legalized in terms of setbacks. So in other words, the front yard setback currently exists at 28 feet 5 inches, where 30 feet is required, so that's something that we are here to maintain. The rear yard is 25 feet, where 30 feet is required, but I just want to point out that the existing house, it's only for that bump out. There's like an 8 by 7 bump out in the back that encroaches at 25 feet. The rest of the dwelling is beyond a 30-foot required rear yard. The individual side yards do comply, but because of the proposed subdivision, our total side yard would not comply. So we're seeking to reduce from 25 feet required to 23 feet 2 inches as proposed. The existing house has been there since about 1931, and again, it was recently redone and renovated. The block on Sheffield between Belmont and Laramie is a mixed block in terms of sizes of lots. Immediately to the west is a lot that had previously had a deli business on it with an apartment above. It's not zoned commercial, but to my knowledge, it was used as a mixed use. There's photos that show that, although now it's in the process of, I believe, being redone. So you could see on the aerial, there's a significant setback between our proposed property line and the existing structure that fronts on Belmont. Immediately to the east is a 40-foot lot that is connected to a home that fronts on Lexington. Right now, there appears to only be a shed on that lot and again, some open space, but that's next to the existing home, so those conditions would not change as a result of this subdivision. Across Sheffield to the south is a 60 by 100-foot parcel. That's tax lot 94. And next door to that lot to the west is a 40 by 100-foot parcel developed with a dwelling, albeit I don't believe with ZBA approval, but that is tax lot 93. Then on the southeast corner of Sheffield and Belmont is a 40 by 96-foot lot. That's tax lot 90, also developed with a home. So you could see, at least on this particular street, the kind of character of mixed-size lots on this block. And then as we head east on Sheffield, there are 5 50-foot lots between Laramie and Lennox Road, tax lots 59, 60, 63, 101, and 102. To the west on Sheffield, there are also mixed sizes. You go from 65, 70, some 50-footers. There are a couple of, or a few prior approvals that I'll submit up to the board. I would say notably Manhattan, which is a couple of blocks to the south. Similar situation, 2 tax lots, 2 separate street addresses, 2 60-footers that were created. That was approved in 2020. Another 60 by 100-foot 2-lot subdivision approved more recently, albeit a few blocks away, was on America Avenue, and that was approved in 2021. There's some older things on Columbus. There was a subdivision in 86 for 2 60-footers. And I also just want to note that the resident to the rear that fronts on Lexington did sign a letter in support. I'll submit that up with my prior approvals when I do that. And I also have some photos of the other homes on this block to kind of show you what the character of that block looks like. I don't believe that adding an additional nice, new, attractive home on a 60-foot parcel would in any way be a detriment or harm the area, and I believe that given the character of the area, whether homes have been produced on single lots that are substandard over the years or they are the benefit of a ZBA approval, it still creates an image when someone drives by, this is what they see, they don't know whether something has a variance or not. So it does kind of create a character and a feel to a neighborhood. I've gone over the covenants with the owners. They agree, single family, owner occupied, no accessory apartments. And again, if approved, obviously the app still has to go through all of the departmental review and comments that a subdivision would go through. So the town DEC can give an opinion on the basement, take a look at the test bore, would have to be fully engineered, and what have you. So I'll submit what I said I was going to submit, and then obviously if the board has any questions, I'm here to answer them. I also have a colored rendering of the proposed dwelling. I don't know if the board has that. So I'm going to submit that as well, just to kind of give you an idea of what it would look like. I can give, I can submit the test board. Do you want me to submit it? Yeah. I have it. Okay.
Okay. Turn the hearing over to Ms. McCullough.
All right, so I just want to reiterate some things. Basement is used for storage only, no.
They do not intend on having it be a finished basement. It would be for mechanicals.
Perfect. We're removing the garage that's on the existing property.
Yes.
There will not be a garage replacing that garage.
Not a detached garage. So the proposed new dwelling would have an internal garage, nothing detached.
Okay, and the existing property will have nothing.
Right, they'll have basically like a 50-foot long driveway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure of that. Currently, is the owner occupying the existing property?
The existing dwelling?
The existing dwelling, sorry, thank you.
I'm not sure who resides there right now.
Okay.
But the intent would be that it be owner occupied. They understand it has to be
For
single
both
family.
properties?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. It's said to have a gray shipping container in the front yard. Is that currently there?
A gray shipping container? It'll go. It's going to be removed.
We're removing that.
Yes.
Okay. Let's scroll through this really fast. That was pretty much my. Okay. Okay. And then all other covenants and restrictions are agreed upon.
Yes, I believe there's 13.
All right. I have no further questions.
Any,
I don't want to move on it yet.
well, let's see if we're gonna move. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? Or, come on up. Been here this long, come on up.
Hi, good evening.
Name and address for the record.
April Casano, 204 Sheffield. I live directly across the street from what's
And do
being
you affirm to
presented
tell the
here.
truth?
I do.
What would you like to tell us?
My main concern is the parking situation. So if they're removing the current shed and driveway, where will the driveway for the existing home, where would that driveway be? And how many vehicles will fit there?
We'll find out.
The
We'll
new
wait.
home, what size driveway, and will it be accommodating how many vehicles? For the new home. My concern is the parking situation.
Okay.
You know, I mean, right now, the street is, you know, I don't, you know, if cars are going to be lined up the street,
Gotcha.
it is a one-way.
It's a fair concern. That's fine. Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
Like
I'll bring the
current
applicant back up
driveway
and we'll
right now
figure it
that's
out.
there, where's the new driveway going to go?
Okay. We'll ask the applicant. We'll bring her
Great, thank
back up and ask her. Would anybody else like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
So
Just-
right, oh, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want you to agree to the condition that if approved, the basement is for storage use only. I just want that agreed upon again.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. Talk to us about the driveways.
So, and I have no problem showing it to the neighbor after the hearing, just to
Fine.
give clarity, because sometimes it's better to visualize it. But, so the existing driveway kind of goes all the way back to the existing frame garage. So yes, that driveway will be gone. In its place, when you're looking at the property, so now to the right of the existing driveway, there'll be a 50-foot-long driveway, so that can accommodate multiple cars. On the proposed new house, there's an internal garage, and then there's also a 30-foot-long driveway that is the width of, I believe, the garage right now. I don't want to put us into a variant situation where now we're over 40% of paved in the front if we increase the driveway, but if I'm looking at it dimensionally, it looks like a double to me. I'll confirm that, but there is a driveway, you can see it on the survey, it's 30 foot long, and it's the length or the width of the proposed garage.
Right.
So you can fit multiple cars, and again, obviously, you'd have the garage to park as well.
Looks like a double. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? On the board?
Can I just ask that you email planning the test board so we can forward that to environmental to review?
The piece of paper I just gave you, you have another copy of that, right?
Yeah, she's.
Okay.
We have it. Okay.
I'll get another one if you want me to PDF it to you. That was my only copy, so I'll get another one if you, okay.
Okay, so we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. We're going to keep the record open for the test bores and take a look at that. And DEC is going to look at when it was taken, and is there a difference, time of year and stuff like that. on the
Sure.
bore.
Just to clarify, quick question. Do you want to see the test bore on the survey itself, or is the test bore result good enough? Result's good enough. Okay. Okay, perfect.
And I will ask you to please
Yes.
speak with the neighbor when we close the hearing, okay?
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for coming down.
Have a good
Thanks.
night.
You too.
Yes.
Yeah, she did.
I'm like, you want me to say that again? Like, I don't want to say that again.
Good job, Chinese.
Sweating over here.
Would like to continue with the agenda and perhaps circle back at the end if there's anything to discuss from the prior applications?
Sure.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Pamela Green, Office of the Town Attorney. Moving on to page 9 of the agenda, the application is 22-155 Peter Tafali. Again, the homeowner needs time to cut back the driveway, and he most likely will not do that till spring. Moving on to page 10 of the agenda, 22-198 Jeremy Block. We are waiting for FOIL. The applicant is waiting for FOIL information. Application 22-203 Maria Greco. The board will recall that last week there was a memo received from Rich Normoyle, and it offered the following amendments, which is on the marked agenda. So those amendments were not adopted last week, and the application was continued, held over. To recap, item number 1, the total building area would request now is to amend it from 30% to 50.76%, over by 2,181.17 square feet. Variance number 2 remained the same. Variance number 3 remained the same, which again was for a height variance for 16 feet. Variance number 4 remained the same, but variances 5 and 6 were recommended to be removed. So the board had asked the applicant to please remove some of the accessory structures to reduce their amount of the accessory structures. They did remove a shed. However, the shed was not in the rear yard, so that number for the accessory structure variance in the rear yard did not move. However, planning is also recommending a condition that, if approved, would require that if the other shed is ever removed, it be rebuilt in a conforming location.
Okay. I'm going to make a motion to approve application number 22-203 as amended with
Would
the
you like to
condition.
adopt the amendments first, Ms.
Oh, I
McCullough?
have to adopt them? I will adopt the amendments.
As per Mr.
As
Normoyle's.
per Mr. Normoyle's memo
Thank you.
for application 22-203.
Is there- Thank you.
All in favor? Aye.
And then I will approve application 22-203 as amended with the condition that if the shed is ever removed, it is rebuilt in a conforming location.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to page 12, the application 22-212, Ronald Hernandez. The expediter was told to speak with the client as the town would appreciate keeping the addition under 25%, otherwise it will require a new variance and a new hearing. The application 22-216, A. Angela Holdings. If the board would please refer to their correspondence packet. Item number 4 is correspondence from council, Mr. Kretz. They have engaged an appraiser. They have retained the appraiser to perform additional financial analysis. They are requesting the board leave the record open until March 15th for the submission of that additional testimony. Moving on to page 14 of the agenda, 22-224, Jose Mejia. We were so close. We were on our way. However, the architect changed the size of the house when they removed the basement, and now the plans do not match the survey. So we'll continue to hold. Moving on to the bottom of page 14, the application is 22-233. Please see correspondence number 2 in your packet, a memo from Ms. Riley. New plans were received, they have been reviewed, and they show that there is now internal access within the structure. This property is located in Deer Park.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 22-233 as per the new plans showing internal access to the accessory apartment.
All in favor? Aye.
Were there any recommended conditions on the original? I don't believe so.
I don't think there were.
No, that was it. Thank you. Okay, moving on to page 15. The application is 22-230, and I would please ask you to look to your correspondence packet for item number 3, which is a memo from Mr. Normoyle advising that new plans were received, that there are now changes to variance number 1, variance number 2, and variance number 3. There was a recommended condition that should this be approved, the deck not be enclosed, and all patios and pavers maintain a minimum 2-foot setback from the property lines. Property is located in Wheatley Heights.
So, who is this? Oh, I guess it's me. So they're not changing anything on the driveway, and that was,
They're not changing anything with the driveway.
Oh, I'm sorry, did you want to?
No, I'm still.
Okay.
it's okay. And number 2 is increased total building area from 15 to 40. They reduced it to 37.88.
Correct.
And number 3, what'd they do here? They amended it to 52.36 instead of 58.82. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll amend the application for number 2 and number 3 according to Rich Normoyle's memo.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I will make I will make a motion on 22-230 to approve variances number 2 and number 3, and to deny variance number 1 sent to council for findings.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What condition? Oh, yeah, the deck's not, yeah, also with the deck's not be further enclosed, and all patios and pavers maintain a 2-foot setback. All in favor?
Thank you. Moving on to the bottom of page 15, the application is 22-234 Car Star, and we are still waiting for them to either remove or legalize the barbed wire.
This is always a problem. You used to make Bert crazy.
Application 22-238, educational bus transportation. We would request that you continue to hold as we are looking for more information regarding the use of the buses, as well as a traffic study from the town's traffic consultant. So with your permission, we would hold that, which now takes us to page 17, unless you would like to go back to any of the reserved applications prior to going to correspondence.
Yes.
Okay. So application number 2, 4, and 8 and 9 is the subdivision.
We need new plans on that one, right?
Yeah, to show that they're cutting back
Yes.
the driveway.
Yeah.
The driveway also, the property was really busy, and she had a lot of pictures of the internal aspect of the house, and I would like specifically a picture of the fireplace, the fire pit, sorry.
As you wish.
Thank you.
What do you mean by busy?
So number 4, when I drove by there weren't those cars there, but I mean, I guess that's the picture, so. Yeah.
Not there.
Yeah, no, exactly. We don't know.
That's what you mean by busy?
So you got 2 driveways? You got a couple driveways?
I will not do that.
Look like honestly,
A lot of debris.
one driveway for 2
I
cars.
don't know what it is. Leave me alone.
Yeah, can somebody go over this for me, because I got a little lost here. What is he, what? Yeah. Hey, guys. Okay.
You applied for all those, you can't get a CO for that because that one second-story addition is existing, like a master closet that on your survey said it's second story deck. Proposing a side addition to now make a new garage and abandon a playroom on the first floor. So he converted his existing attached garage to living space, making a 500-square-foot new garage with the den on top of it. So he responded to everything we said in the first hearing. He did what he had to do. He filed for his permit. He was following through with everything. He reduced the size of the original addition he was going for. Originally it was over 500 square feet. He reduced that.
2,500. Can I see it? Can I see the picture you?
What can we provide to be more helpful? Would you like updated renderings, or?
Yeah, you know, what Nick was bringing up on his phone, the house looks tremendous already.
All those cars are probably his.
Well, he just said there was none there when he went
When
by.
I drove by there, there weren't any cars there.
It tells you something.
It is a big house.
You're gonna extend that house or not?
Yeah, jump in. This is the house? Where is she? Katie. I'm looking for you.
Adding this here.
On what he's already got?
Yes.
Makes for a lot of house.
You keeping the flagpole, Katie? You could have asked them. Missed your opportunity there.
And that's an additional 500 square feet.
That's going to the right, so where the dead end, yes. He's still meeting his side yard setbacks, so the only thing he's going for is.
That's just gonna be a
He's
second-story
going
addition,
for the front
nothing
yard,
underneath.
even though it's not, no, it's 2 stories.
2 stories.
So he converted what that's a garage now, he converted that to a playroom or living space. Now he's having a new garage and a second. Okay.
Yeah, now that we got the plans, I get it now, too.
Property.
He
He
meets
needs
the
his side
setback.
yard setback.
He meets the side yard
He needs
setback.
his front yard setback, but it's in line, but he's adding a portico, so that's why that.
Yeah, for the front door, but then
And he also needs a rear yard, but this is existing already, what he's
34.
legalizing.
Oh, it needs 40.
That's like a closet, like a walk-in closet, I think he was saying, yeah.
Thanks. It's a lot of house. Is there a lot of house already?
Should accommodate those cars first.
All right, let's let's keep this open. I want to see if I can drive by there and see what we're talking about here. Just seeing it in person, this looks like quite a bit there, so. Right. The
If acceptable,
boulevard.
that'll bring
And
you to,
went
that'll,
Marco, you went there?
I went there.
Yeah.
I mean, there weren't any cars.
Okay.
It is a big property.
It's a big house.
Yeah, it's a
too,
big
right?
house. It's a huge house. But I mean, those cars that were in the picture, they weren't there. But
During the day?
doesn't mean, yeah, I went there around like 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they're not there. You know,
Yeah, right, I know.
You know, that's-
Absolutely, yeah. All right, that's a lot of house, though. It's a lot of house to add that much onto it. Okay,
And he did say it wasn't going to be an accessory apartment or anything
right,
like that.
yeah. All right, let's hold it.
that brings us to correspondence, if acceptable. And the last page of your agenda. Item number 1 was a letter from the residents in opposition of the subdivision, which was the last item tonight. Item number 2 was the memo from Ms. Riley. Item number 3 was a memo from Mr. Normoyle. Item number 4 was a letter from Mr. Kretz regarding A. Angela Holdings. Item number 5 is notice from the Village of Babylon that there are 2 properties to come before them for a hearing. They are 15 Martin Place and 2 Mayhew Avenue. So those descriptions are included in your packet at item number 5. Item number 6 is the request to adjourn the BOLA applications until they can both be heard together. And that would bring you to accepting the minutes of January 12th.
Chairman, I make a motion to accept the minutes of January 12, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
For your review, over next week, when there is no meeting, will be the review of January 26th minutes. And if acceptable, we have on the accepting the findings for Craig Simak. You'll recall this property was in Amityville with the oversized garage.
Chairman, I make a motion to accept the findings of ZBA case 22-144 of Craig Simek.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are still holding over the pending correspondence for Roll Right Towing. And once again, council has just made the board aware that there are upcoming opportunities for the mandatory training over the next 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, provided at a conference. If you are interested, that email was sent out today. There are 4 opportunities. Each one provides 4 hours of training.
Is each one an hour each or 4 hours each?
There's, each
4
one
hours
is
each.
4 hours.
They're all in the next 3 weeks, or there's?
Yes. Mhm.
And they're all
And they're
virtual, right?
They're all virtual, and you can take a look at the agendas to see which provide topics of interest. And with that,
Can we get
your
reimbursed for that?
agenda is concluded.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to adjourn.